Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So we are going to recan this number 10 can of tomato sauce. It needs to be removed from the can. I mean, if you have things like this and if you have them for a while and you're a canner, either use it if you're not a canner, or if you're a canner, get it out of the metal cans because the acid in these will eat the cans. So I have this and a case of canned tomato sauce that I need to do something with. Sorry, I've been running. So this can, and I'm going to use 2 containers of diced tomatoes. I'm going to make some chunky spaghetti sauce. So I have my tomato sauce here, and then I have 6 bell peppers, a large onion, and a package of cremini mushrooms. And I have 6 garlic cloves minced. You're going to want some Italian seasoning and sugar. This already has a lot of acid in it and sodium, so I probably won't salt it. We'll taste it and see, but usually you don't need to. So we are going to, oh no, not do that. So we're going to saute our vegetables first. So don't do what I did. And that's me just being terrible when I have the camera on. But at least I had everything prepped. I have 3 inches of water in my canner ready. It's warm water because this will go in hot, and hopefully I'm not loud because my face is right in the camera. But I don't want to waste any of this tomato sauce with my mistake. I was thinking I needed to clean that off the stove, dump it in the pot and clean up my mess, but wrong answer. Okay, try this again. So, turn on the heat, and this will be pressure canned because it has the bell pepper and mushroom. If you were just doing a marinara, it would be like a salsa and has enough acid in it to water bath. But this will pressure can for 40 minutes. So, first, you want to start out with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to get my Italian seasoning. I'm just going to use this. And it has everything in it. Oregano, thyme, basil, rosemary, sage, and marjoram. So it has everything, all the herbs in there that you need. If you don't have an Italian seasoning, you can use oregano and basil. That will be fine. Or if you have some of those canning blends, Mrs. Wages, I think it is, you can use that. So we're going to soften our veggies first. So I'm going to dump them them all in there. I'm going to wait to add the garlic until these have softened, because we don't want to overcook the garlic. I brought in one of my bell pepper plants because I grew them in pots. So we'll see how that goes. They actually have bell peppers on them. And then here's my garlic. And you can do that to your taste. But I have 6 about medium-sized cloves. So we're just going to get these going. And I will see you when these start softening up. Okay, so they're looking pretty good, getting pretty soft. So I'm going to add my garlic. It smells so good, it's making me hungry, and I already had dinner. Then I want to talk about a couple of things from yesterday's events. Get our garlic in there. Oh, that smells so good. Where did I put my measuring squares? I'm going to add 2 heaping tablespoons of my Italian seasoning. And if you wanted to make it a spicy version, you could add some red chili flakes. I'm going to add a tablespoon of sugar. That's just to cut the acid. If you like a sweeter sauce, you can add more. The sauces you buy at the store have a tendency to be sweeter. I'm going to add some pepper. Where's my pepper grinder? That's all to taste. Then I'm going to add my tomatoes. Oh man. I always make a mess with these containers. If you ever see these Cola Vita tomatoes on sale, they're very good tomatoes. Grab you some. We're going to bring this up to a simmer. I'm going to add our tomato sauce. Oh, 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 oh. You really want to be checking your food storage and your pantry and make sure all your food is in good condition and take care of it. And if you have things like this, you can can it into something else. Stir this up. And if you wanted to add meat to this, you could brown your meat first, then add your vegetables, your seasonings, just like we did. But you will can it for 60 minutes, not 40. So you can make this a meat sauce. You can use hamburger, Italian sausage, whatever you like. So yesterday, when things popped off in Poland, they turned World War III, a lot of people reporting on it, into a nuclear situation. And I think that's really scary for people. I mean, with everything going on, there is a high probability that we will end up in a conflict. And World War III doesn't necessarily mean nuclear war. I think everybody, all the leaders are well aware of how damaging that would be. So I don't think jumping on that bandwagon is necessary. I do think if you have people in the military, you need to spend as much time with them as possible. I mean, they could be deployed. They could be deployed to South Korea. They could be deployed to Taiwan. But at this point, we're just doing a lot of training. And as far as we know right now, all the activity out at the base, we're sending a lot of stuff, to the U country to help them. But we are placing things in areas to be prepared. But like I said, none of that necessarily means nuclear war. What I would focus in on, and I would prep really hard right now, our prices are going to go up again. Diesel prices are up, so that raises the cost of delivery and moving stuff. We have the situation with the Mississippi River, the lack of water, so things, are going to struggle moving down that river. I'm just going to bring this up to a simmer, and then I'll taste it and see if I want to add anything. There's probably going to be some rice shortages, so if you don't have all your rice and such, I would have rice and sugar, flour. But all these sales they're having, buy what you can. Don't get greedy though. I've seen people out there buying 10 turkeys. It's like I haven't even found one yet. Because if I can find one extra, I have a small one for Thanksgiving. And if I can get one extra, I'll can it. But I'm not going to go out. I don't have freezer space for a bunch of turkeys, so. But I just think people got a little crazy with the nuclear talk yesterday. The probability is high for a conflict, but I don't think that necessarily means a complete disaster of the world. So I think people need to think about that and just try and control what you can. You know, what we know is happening right now. Because I do think yesterday was an indication that at some point we will be drawn into this situation. I think people should be prepared for that, you know, mentally, but don't freak out. Freaking out's not going to help you at all. And I do know one indication, if you live by a base. I want more sugar. Is if something's going on, you'll start seeing it really backed up at the gates because the security goes up higher. That's how the base works by me anyways. My husband will complain. It takes him forever to get on and off. It was more quiet today as far as air traffic and stuff goes compared to yesterday. So I think for a minute everybody was a little hopped up, even the military. But prices will be going up again. There are manufacturers and companies saying that they will be continuing to raise prices up until 2025. I don't know how we will be able to survive that way. So like I've been saying, you know, grow what you can, find a way to grow, get together with friends. And I wouldn't talk about prepping. You know, if people don't know you're a prepper, I wouldn't go around saying it. I would just say, you know, trying to save money. Everybody's trying to save money, right? But I don't think I'd put all my business out there. Nobody around me knows. Just my family, and they're all in California, so there's still a possibility a third railroad union has backed out of the talks, you know, the deals or whatever. So there's still a high probability that next month the railroads could be going on strike. And it doesn't have to take all of the unions to participate in that. If a few do, the rest will follow. So there's a lot happening at one time. I have my jars washed and ready. I just washed this one. There's something on it. I splattered it with that tomato sauce. Have your jars ready. Might get 4 quarts out of that, we'll see. So I'm going to let this come up to a simmer. And I just wanted to say how I feel about all of that. Being it didn't turn out to be the Our Country, as we all know. Last night I brought that up, the hot chocolate. The Our Country didn't do that. Everybody still wants to blame them, but that's a whole other situation. And I think it just got blowed completely out of proportion. And I do think you should be prepared for involvement somewhere on some level. And does somebody want to explain to me why Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab are part of the G20? They're not politicians. Those are the kind of things we should really be focusing on, is what these people are planning to do that affects our lives. So I'm going to let this come up to a simmer, and then we will come back and fill our clean jars. I'm going to put my pot back there on low so that water can stay warm for when I put my jars in there. You never want to put hot jars in a cold canner or cold jars in a hot canner. It can break your jars. So I'm going to get this warm, bring this to a simmer, and then we'll be back. Okay, you can really smell the herbs in here now. And it came up to a bubble. You don't want to boil it. You never want to boil your tomato sauces. They can burn on the bottom and get foamy. So, turned off that burner. My thing here. Fill these up to 1 inch of headspace. This would even be a good sauce for on a homemade pizza, but the sauce I'm going to be making after this with the case of tomato sauce I have will be versatile for all kinds of your recipes. And you know, Texas has declared an invasion, so they're deploying the National Guard to the border there. So if you live in California or Arizona, I would start expecting people to start crossing over in those areas. Let's see if we've got one more here. Get my rubber spatula. Well, I don't think I can get any more out of there. So we got 5 quarts. We're going to wipe our rims. Make sure you get everything off of there. Fingertip tight. Put it in our warm canner. Jars are hot. I'm going to have my husband get me some paper towels to put away strictly for canning. See, you never know when you have something on there. So you always want to wipe your rims. With liquidy stuff, I don't worry about debubbling so much. Jams, jellies, things like that. You could totally debubble, but there's some things I find you add more air to, especially jams and stuff, because they're thickening. And you can actually add more air than you're taking out. That's just from experience. Too bad I didn't have one more. So, there's our canner. I could fit one more right there. I could probably squeeze in 2. That's okay. So over here is our V on the handle. So that's where we'll be matching up. You want to match up the V on your handle to the V on your lid. Lock it, turn it up, and when this thing over here pops up and you have had steam venting for 10 minutes, add your weight. When the weight comes to a soft jiggle, adjust your heat if you need to. Set your timer for 40 minutes. Let it come down from pressure naturally. And I will see you when these are coming out of the canner. Now I'm going to wash my dishes again. Okay, our sauce is ready. Hear that? Gonna give it a minute. So my whole point of doing this was you really want to keep an eye on your food storage, and tomatoes stored in cans can rust out. The acid can eat them out. So if you can do something with them, you can even just recan them as plain tomato sauce. For whatever recipes that you just use plain tomato sauce in. So, and you can water bath that. But you just want to keep an eye on your food stores. I didn't have any problems with the can, but I didn't want to keep them so long that they had a problem. So now I have 5 jars of spaghetti sauce ready to go. And we're fixing to do another canning project. There we go. So keep an eye on your food stores. There's our, and it's still bubbling in the jars. So keep an eye on your food stores and just make sure, you know, you repurpose them, can them, cook them, use them, whatever you got to do. Just make sure you don't have any food waste, because we cannot afford that these days. So anyways, there's our canning project, and yeah, you all stay safe, you stay healthy, you stay warm, because we're fixing to get a really cold snap, I guess, a lot of parts of the country, and they're sealing. And so yeah, you all take care, and I will see you in the next video.